Hey everyone, so today we are talking about a topic that hits home with many of you, and that is your haircut. So when it comes to your haircut, it's really something that's very personal, very emotional. If you've ever gotten a bad haircut, you can understand exactly what I'm talking about. Even I have had a bad haircut. I've witnessed bad haircuts. Today we're talking about haircut mistakes and things you must avoid while getting your haircut. A haircut is not just about getting your ends trimmed or a little bit of a cleanup. It goes way beyond that. And to many of you, it's really something that's super important. You may pick your hair as the most important feature of your overall style. So when it comes to your haircut, you absolutely need to make sure that you are going over these steps when you are in the salon or in a barbershop. The first thing is making sure that you have the right haircut for your face shape. Now, this is a topic that I've talked about numerous times here on my YouTube channel, but the face shape is something that really can either complement a haircut or make it a disaster. If you have the wrong haircut for a face shape or for your face shape, it's really not going to be complimentary, okay? For example, if you have a rounder face shape and you're getting a haircut that really opens that face up even more and makes it more rounded. It's very, very full throughout the sides. It's basically making your head like a full circle. You really do not want that. Or if you've got a longer face shape and the person who's doing your hair is giving you a haircut that's giving you a poof, that's raising your hair 5 to 6 inches off of your head, and it's making your face and your head 10 times longer. So you have to make sure that the person who's cutting your hair is aware of not only your face shape, but also the right haircut for your face. Now, you're probably going to start asking, what's the best haircut for my face shape? It really depends. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there already here on YouTube and on Google to answer that question. But also keep in mind, you're not paying me for a haircut. You're paying a professional to cut your hair. They should be the ones who are telling you the best haircut for your face shape. The next thing, and this is really, really crucial, and that is communication. You have to communicate with the professional who's cutting your hair. Some of you may not know, what to say to your barber, what to say to your stylist. I've done countless videos on that topic. Just right here on YouTube, search what to say to your barber, what to say to your stylist, The Salon Guy. Just do that search query and you'll see all the videos I've done based on that. But communication is key. As a professional for over 30 years, I have encountered this situation numerous times where the client may not know how to communicate properly, and that's where it's my job to bring out those things from them. I have to ask them certain questions. I also have to give them my opinion. So if you're getting your haircut and the stylist or the barber, they have no idea what to say, they're not asking you the right questions, I would be a little worried if I were you. Because if that professional can't even communicate, how are you supposed to get a good haircut? The best thing to do is when you go in and you sit down, if they're not asking you, and I've heard this a million times, you sit down, all right, what are we doing today? It's usually like 80% of the time, 90% even, they're asking you the same question, even if you're a new client and you're like, oh, I don't know. Like, that's the worst way to open up, I think, an appointment or a consultation. The thing is, if they open up with that, what you need to tell them is exactly what you're looking for, exactly what your goal is with your hair, whether you're trying to grow it out, whether you like a certain part of your hair. If they ask you the right questions, like, what is it you don't like about your hair? Tell me about the bad haircut you've had, what worked, what didn't work last time. Make sure you bring up the things that aren't working the right way in your hair. Because if you tell that person, oh, every time I get my haircut, it's always cut too short. Don't cut it too short. Okay, well then that professional has to then say, all right, well, they don't want it too short. Mentally, they're going to freak out, because if they cut it too short, they're going to go in the back room and have a panic attack. I know how professionals in the hair industry think, okay? They don't want to freak out. They don't want you to freak out and be unhappy and cause a big scene. Just make sure you explain what you didn't like about your last haircut. if there's any trouble areas, like, oh, I have a calic right here, I got a swirl right in the back, this always sticks up when I get a cut, no one can seem to get it right, every time I have a haircut this sticks straight up. You have to let them know all of those things. The last thing I would suggest is don't be so focused on names of haircuts unless it's something so specific like, oh, I want an undercut, or I want my hair to be disconnected. I want the top to be a lot longer. I want this to be fully disconnected, kind of like an undercut, or I want my hair layered. I want it to be very fluffy and poofy. I want my hair to be slicked back all the time. Those things are more important than the name of a haircut. Unless it's something that's like, I want a mullet, I want a wolf cut, I want a taper. I mean, those are common things, but nowadays it's more about utilizing the right terminology of what you're looking for as opposed to the name of a haircut. So communication is super, super important. Here it is. The last and final part of this whole video is what you should avoid is not talking about proper hair care. Now, I have my own hair care products, and if you use code YouTube20, you get 20% off at shop.thesalonguy.com. In my experience working as a professional and with other professionals, retail and selling products is probably the least fun thing, and they're absolutely awful for the most part at selling hair products. That's why, I have my own hair brand, and that's why you watch my videos and support me by purchasing my products. But what you need to do is you need to make sure that you're communicating them with the proper hair care. And that starts from the shampooing. That starts from, the conditioner. It starts from how should you be blow drying your hair, styling it, what products should be using, what types of products. All of that is really, really, really important. So when you're getting your hair done, especially towards the end, there will be a high chance that they're not going to be promoting or suggesting a product. They're going to use it, put it in your hair. Oh, what do you think? Oh, looks good. You need to ask them, especially if they're using something or doing something technique-wise to your hair that is something very unique or you've never seen. You're like, oh, what is that? Like, I never seen that. Or a diffuser, how are you using? If you see a hair technique they're doing, make sure you ask, how can I do this at home? How can I duplicate what you're doing at home? It's super, super important. And if they suggest something and maybe you might not like the smell of a product, you may be like, okay, this is cool, and you go home and you're like, I want to buy the Salon Guy's product. That's totally cool too. But you need to make sure that you're watching and learning from what they're doing, how they're styling your hair, so you can then duplicate it at home. Are you using a smoothing serum? What size brush are you using? When you're blow drying your hair, are you using a lot of like all of those things? Just watch and learn so you can duplicate it at home. So in conclusion, these are all really, really important things that you need to understand when getting your hair cut. And you have to avoid a lot of these things by, not doing what I suggested. You have to do all those things. So, avoid not communicating, avoid not asking for, tips and techniques, avoid not, asking about the right haircut for your face shape. All of these things, you have to make sure you're incorporating it into your haircut experience. This is a very emotional thing for you. This can help you get better haircuts as you go for an appointment. And also, once again, if you want to purchase any of my hair care products, my hair tools, use code YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.